Hey everybody, welcome to the first module of the validation course for Startup Academy. I thought a good place for us to start is talking about what is validation. I think an important place to start is looking at what the different startup stages are. I know people have kind of heard these different stages talked about in different places, and so I wanted to show where validation fits with all of these stages and the role that it plays in these. So validation to me is the very, very first thing you do, and I put it before MVP. I know sometimes people think of MVPs as part of validation. I think of them as discrete different things. And to me, validation is you're trying to figure out whether it's worth the investment of even doing an MVP. Once you have an MVP, you can actually people can start using it and using the product. And then you get to this product stage where you're actually building kind of like a real app and a real product and what you would now think of as kind of products. And then once you pass the product stage, you're in this growth phase where you have a product, you're really focused on growing and trying to get as many people to use your product as possible. And then there's a hyperscale phase, which is much further along. And this one is like, you have a product, it's growing fast, you know it works, you just got to get it out to as many people as possible. I think about startup stages in these 5 buckets. There's a validation piece, there's an MVP piece, product, growth, and hyperscale. I think an interesting thing to think and overlay on top of these stages is to think about people's commitment and kind of like funding levels to each of these. So to me, validation is the thing you're doing part-time before you quit your job. I'll talk about this more, but in large part, you're doing validation to figure out whether it's worth it to kind of quit your job. The MVP stage, some people have doing it part-time, some people are doing it kind of full-time, depending on kind of like how far you are in the MVP stage. And then when you get to the product stage, that's when I think of pre-seed and seed. You have some sort of MVP, some sort of evidence that a thing, and so you're raising money onto it. Growth is Series A, Series B. This is a thing, you just got to get more money to kind of put gas on the fire. Then hyperscale is like, okay, we're trying to grow to like 1,000-person company and that kind of stuff. And so think about it in these different kind of discrete stages, and I'll kind of do very deeply into kind of the validation stuff, and that's the focus of this course. Is we'll talk about validation.